You ever look around you and just be amazed because of the complexity of everything? Or maybe when you have your first child and you see them and you see their little toes and their little hands and how they're breathing. I don't know about you, but when I first saw my son, I was just blown away with how amazing he was. And as I really thought about it, and as I really looked at the world around me, you start to wonder and you start to ask this question: how is this even possible? How does any of this even happen? Because as you study this, it gets more and more complex. It gets more and more mind-blowing. I mean, each and every one of us has a unique genetic code. That's crazy. Each and every one of us would be dead if the earth was just a little bit closer to the sun. Everything about our planet is perfect for us to exist. The complexities, mathematical equations, the botany, all the different things about our planet, about the plants, about the animals, it really is amazing. And it really starts to make you wonder. And again, the deeper you go, the more complex it gets. You start to look into the universe, the stars, everything around us, and it just screams this question: how did all of this begin? And how is it possible that we are even here? Well, that is the question that I'm going to answer today as we continue the On Mission vlog in this series, Big Questions. And my goal in this is to be able to help equip you just a little bit to talk with people as they come up with questions about why maybe they do or don't believe in God, or questions they have that are keeping them away from Him, maybe questions they have about Christianity and things like that. And so we're each time that we go through this series, we are going to wrestle with another big question to help you as you do talk to people about your faith in Jesus Christ. And so today, as I mentioned, we are talking about the big question: how did all of this begin? And the thing is that it began with a word. God created the heavens and the earth. That's what we see in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. It's just very clear right there where it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So you have space and matter created in the very first verse. But now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And so you also see God creating time. So in just the very first part of the Bible, we see God creating the heavens, the earth, space, and matter. We also see Him creating time, which is kind of the foundation of much of our scientific thought when it comes to the cosmos, when it comes to the way our world works. We always look at it through those prisms. And so as a result, there are a lot of people in the world who hear that and they're like, there's no way. I mean, you've got such big faith that there's some God out there that created everything. Like, there's no way that that's possible. You have no scientific proof, which, I mean, if you get down to it, when it comes to the scientific method, you're right. We don't, because we can't answer the question, well, who created God? Because we believe no one created God. We believe that God has always been, and that doesn't really make sense with some of the logical ways of thinking that we've come up with as people. So we've came up with all sorts of different theories, crazy ones like the Matrix theory is one, where we think that maybe this is all just a simulation and we're part of a big old computer program, and that there's something out there that's really just created this, and we're not even a part of reality. Now that one's a little outlandish. I don't know a lot of people who believe that, but there are people out there who do. It is a thing. There's the black hole theory, where it believes that our universe was created from a black hole or a wormhole of another universe, which is kind of this whole multiverse theory, which you're seeing actually a lot of in science fiction for quite some time now. There's also the no boundary theory. This is an interesting theory that was created by Stephen Hawking and his partner, I don't remember his name, or Hawkins, and he basically they had an issue with the most popular theory, which is the Big Bang Theory. And they decided, because the Big Bang Theory can't tell you where these elements came from and and how this big explosion just happened to create life and to create the universe. Instead, his idea was, well, there was nothing at one point, and just out of nothing, everything began. It was very, very small, and it was constantly expanding, which we do seem to see that the universe is expanding. So it kind of wrestles with that. But again, it's just like, well, that still doesn't solve the question, like, how did something come out of nothing? So it was a stab in the dark, in my opinion, just as all of these theories are. The Big Bang Theory, as I just alluded to, is the most popular one. It's the one that has been most commonly accepted, but there are a lot of holes in it, which has resulted in a lot of other theories. This is the idea that the universe was created 13.8 billion years ago, and that number has grown from its first start as a theory, I guess. It used to be a lot fewer years, but as they've studied the Earth and studied the universe, they started to realize, oh man, this is super complex. So it's going to take a lot longer for these things to just happen. Their whole idea is that by chance, the elements, the molecules necessary to create an explosion, to create life and the universe, just happened. They happened to collide the right way so that all of this would just happen. Well, as we have discussed already, that's a problem within our logical thinking that we have just created for ourselves. Like, we believe that something cannot come out of nothing. That is part of our scientific method and thought. And so if that is the case, the Big Bang Theory, the no boundary theory, all of these theories have the same problem that creation has. And this idea of intelligent design or creation is also another theory out there. And of course, I base it based on what the Bible says about that, because I'm a follower of Jesus. I believe that Jesus really is God who came to this earth. I believe that he is the one who created the heavens and the earth. And when you look at it, though, the thing is that you're absolutely right. It does take faith for me to believe this. But as I just mentioned, all of those other theories, it takes a huge level of faith to think that all of this happened at just some random chance. That the molecules just happened to come together. That evolution then took over from there, and we were able to develop on a planet that just happened to be in the exact precise location. And so far, as far as we know, there are no other planets that are even close to being able to do the same thing. So we just happened to start here. And that is the thing that causes so many problems in people's mind. That's why you get crazy ideas like the matrix theory and stuff like that. And so the fact of the matter is when you're talking with someone about this, when they have questions about this, you may not be able to scientifically prove that God created the universe. Although there are scientists who have mathematical equations that support that, the fact of the matter is you're never going to get this to be a scientific law based on human standards. You're also not going to get the Big Bang Theory to become a law, the no boundary theory, the cyclic theory, the Big Bounce theory, or any of the other theories that are out there to become a law either. Because the fact of the matter is, we're not going to be able to find that evidence, that empirical data to do that unless or until God himself comes and tells everybody, hey, you guys have been trying to figure this out. I'm the one who did it. You guys have missed me this entire time. But the Bible is very clear that God is the one who created the heavens and the earth. And I believe that there's enough other evidence within the Bible that support the Bible's truth that it helps us have confidence in that. And I think that if we look around us, you see the earth screaming at us, trying to tell us, this didn't just happen. God created this for you and for him so that you could know that he exists. And we see this over and over and over again. You can find out more about this online, of course, if you'd like to take a deeper dive. There are a lot of different thoughts out there. There are a lot of different theologians and apologists who really make a living off of this. And so you could try Dr. Daniel Craig. He's a great spot for that. And there are other options out there as well that I'll go ahead and put in the link. But one sermon that I would strongly encourage you is from Louis Giglio. He just did a fantastic job explaining how even if the Big Bang really did happen, wouldn't the Big Bang seem a lot like when God spoke the world to existence? God creates the heavens and the earth out of nothing, and then it explodes into existence from his voice in an instant. Sounds a lot like a big bang to me. And I love how Louis Giglio just kind of plays that out. So I'm going to put that link in my notes as well for you to check out. So as I said before, you may not be able to prove that God created the heavens and the earth beyond a shadow of a doubt, but you're not going to be able to prove any of these other things either. It will all take a level of faith. And the fact of the matter is you can either have faith in God, in the God in heaven who created all things, faith in many of the other things that point to his existence, or you can put your faith in science. But either way, their thoughts in science are no more logical and no more supported than our faith in God. So that's all for today. I look forward to seeing you all again in a couple weeks. Feel free to like, share this, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more support we can get, the more we can get this out there and help equip people as we talk to them about our faith in Jesus. Thank you all so much for being a part of it.